Hey y'all, Brooke Benevento here with another episode of Hi, It's Me, I'm the Problem podcast. I am so excited that you have decided to spend the next 10 minutes with me. My intention for this podcast is to inspire others to live a life worth living. My greatest hope is that when you tune in to listen to these podcasts, you feel a little better than you did before you pushed play. I named this podcast, Hi, It's Me, I'm the Problem, because when I heard those lyrics for the first time by Taylor Swift, something shifted inside of me. And I knew then that I was the problem. I realized that if I wanted my life to be different, I would have to take responsibility for myself and my actions, and that it was time to make a serious transformation within myself. The first part of my transformation started with becoming certified through the Think and Grow Rich Institute. And with my mentor's help, I transformed my life. Now, here I sit, a completely different woman, ready to share what I've learned with the world. So, with all that said, let's get into today's topic. Today, we are going to discuss, what are you under the influence of? Naturally, when we think of being under the influence, we automatically think of alcohol or drugs. But let's for a moment dive in a little deeper into the meaning of under the influence in a more broader sense. I think we could all agree that being under the influence also means that we are being affected or controlled by something outside of us. Let me say it again. Being under the influence is the act of being affected or controlled by something outside of us. Okay, now let's for a moment trade out being under the influence of alcohol and drugs for something else. As I read these off, I want to encourage you to reflect and see if any of these influences resonate with you. Do you pour yourself a cup of doubt about whether your parents are proud of you? Or maybe it's a cup of discouragement from your friends' opinions of you and your ideas. Maybe it's a shot of fear from the nightly news. Or is it a cup of unworthiness from your teacher who says you will never amount to anything? Could it be a cup of low self-image from a book or magazine you are currently reading? Or maybe it's a double shot of stress and anxiety that you get from binge watching Netflix and scrolling through social media for hours on end. So what is it? What are you under the influence of? What are you being affected or controlled by? What in your everyday life dictates your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions? Maybe you're nodding your head up and down right now in agreement with some of the things I have said. You can now see. You have become aware that these people and these things have you under the influence of some pretty negative thoughts, feelings, and emotions. Congratulations, you have gained awareness. This is the first step to a whole new life. Now, here comes the fun part. You now have the choice to bury your head back in the sand or take the next steps forward and open your awareness a little bit more. Like I always say, this is a learning podcast. I will always leave you with a helpful tip on regaining control of yourself and becoming what you have always dreamt of one day being. Now, here are 7 things we can do to change what influences us, what affects us, and what controls us. 1. We become aware that we need a change in our lives. Number 2, we say to ourselves that we are done living the way we are living, and we make a commitment to ourselves to turn away from what does not bring us peace and prosperity, and instead turn towards what does. Number 3, we pour a cup of trust into ourselves, that we have the power of an inner knowing, and that we have been given the gift of choice to choose what is best for ourselves. And in that cup, we may need to add a splash of love and grace for our family members. A very good friend of mine, Sam Mitani, always says, some people are in chapter 1 and some people are in chapter 10. This means having grace for those who are on a different timeline of growth than you are. Not everyone has the capacity to understand that you have made the choice at this time to become more aware of yourself and what influences you. Number 4, find yourself a group of friends who drink from the cup of positive thinking and have an obsessional desire to do good things in this world. You may have to distance yourself from the more opinionated friends. It is okay. It is all working out for the highest good. Number 5, free yourself from fear by turning off the nightly news and instead take a shot of an uplifting podcast. Wink, wink. Number 6, emotionally heal and gain a sense of belonging by pouring yourself into a good self-development book. Number 7, practice developing a calm spirit and peace of mind by turning off the electronics, sitting quietly, and meditating. God will pour into you a lot faster when you are fully engaged and in the present moment. If you think about it, this is all actually pretty simple stuff. At the end of the day, it's you against you. You are in control of what you let in, and you are in control of what you choose to believe about yourself and the world around you. Listen, the only person that is coming to save you is you. Every day, it is a choice on what we allow ourselves to be under the influence of. You have been given the greatest gift of all, free will, and you can change what station you turn into at any time. Do you want to be on the station where you are influenced by negativity and only pick up static? Or do you want to be on the station where you feel good, you feel empowered, you feel calm, you feel at peace? I'll leave you with a quote by the great Wayne Dyer. You cannot always control what goes on outside, but you can always control what goes on inside. That's all for today. If you would like to join a group of positive individuals, please find us over at Mighty Networks under Passion into Purpose Community. Thank you for listening. If you know of anyone who may benefit from today's talk, please feel free to send them this podcast. Until next time, I wish you all peace.